Later.
See ya.
Bye.
$22.69. $15.27.
Hello, backseaters. Just let's give it a minute here for other people to join. Hello.
$76.94. $76.94. Transporting one adult female to my call location to the LEC. Starting mileage is 365. 1528.
Well, welcome back, live on patrol, backseaters. I appreciate it. You're with Undersheriff Mike Martin of the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. We are on the east side of the city of St. Paul, the capital city of the state of Minnesota. And again, I'm with the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office, and we are live on patrol. It's it's December 30th. It's not the new year yet. And so in case you're wondering if we're live, we are. I am patrolling today without my normal partner, Steve. A personal commitment that he had to attend to this afternoon, and he and I did eat lunch together today and talked a little bit. We went down to Tom Reed's and got to enjoy the company of a lot of youth hockey players that are in town for a tournament at the XL Energy Center. And Steve and I and the smartest man, Kyle Mestad, ate the salad bar at Tom Reed's. And as always, it was awesome, fresh. And Chris, who takes care of us a lot there, was our server today. So he's like a bartender, but he also was waiting on tables. So we lucked out today. And
however, they did mention in a previous possible suspect involved. The party showed up selling domestic warrant out of Ramsey County for $20,000. Doesn't know if this party's on this or not.
Trying to listen to the radio a little bit here. I am scanning all the channels in St. Paul and the 3 channels in Ramsey County, as well as some metro-wide and statewide channels, so that if anything pops off.
2587 14th Avenue. Looks like
You should be able to hear it. And I will try to quiet down if anything good cooks off on the radio, or if there's a chase on a channel so that you can listen to it. We're northbound on Payne Avenue, just passing Magnolias. I don't know if they're open again. I know they had a fire a while ago. They did not look open, but great family restaurant there. I hope everyone had an awesome Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrated, and also everyone has plans for a fun, safe New Year's Eve tomorrow. It's definitely one of those nights where you get a lot of people that don't usually drink a lot, that drink too much, and unfortunately some of them end up driving, and a good portion of those will end up with DWIs tomorrow night. So please don't do it. It's worth it to get an Uber or have somebody be your designated driver. Make friends with someone who's sober, and it's always good to have a sober driver.
9263.
We're east on Maryland right now at Arcade, and kind of driving through the heart of the east side here.
730.
It's been relatively quiet this morning and early afternoon, so we'll see if things pick up. It's kind of a dreary, foggy day. Someone posted that they think Magnolias is closed for good. I heard that we weren't live on Friday night. Everybody took the night off and enjoyed it with their families or friends, and so I heard there was a place where you could just write comments on there. I have not read any of those, but I appreciate everyone who's engaged with us, and I guarantee you there are people who are reading those comments that will relay them to us. Give a shout out to Molly Kelly. Hope you're feeling better today and able to watch Live on Patrol. You're one of our biggest fans and backseaters. Give a shout out too to the Shriners who donated fire suppression devices to our deputies. I don't know how to explain it other than it looks like a suitcase that you would throw into a fire that then emits a fire retardant that puts the fire out, which might become very handy if we have to rescue people from a house or some other type of enclosed space. So
boyfriend is self-caller physically about 20 minutes ago. She's currently hiding in the laundry room. Her suspect's name is Gary. He's a male, 51, thin build, 24 years old. May still be inside the apartment, but he's wearing a gray hoodie and gray sweats.
You're still eastbound on Maryland here. I want to see what's going on over here.
1936.
I did watch the Vikings game yesterday. That was good to get a win, especially anytime we can beat the Packers is a good day. Of course, we had to make it interesting, and make it closer than it should have been, but hopefully that's because they're conserving some energy for the playoffs. And they're having a great year, so. And I apologize to the Packer fans that, but it looks like you got a good quarterback going into the future, and just not necessarily your year. And just look at the bright side. You're not the Cowboys and you're not the Bears. So earlier today, Steve Leiden was telling me that the forecast for the middle of February is below zero temperatures, and maybe extremely low temperatures in the 30s or 40s below. Uh-oh. My camera did not like that last bump. We're going to go southbound here on White Bear Avenue by the Amico, or BP it is now. The staff there are very friendly and cooperative with us. And as one of the primary locations to get gas on the east side, they definitely have their share of business. How the camera turned up like that, but I really checked to make sure the connections were tight before I started today, so must have hit that bump a little too hard. We're south on White Bear Avenue. We're at Stillwater right now, and headed down south. We will eventually intersect with I-94.
536.
Can you update us to an APD, change the address to Union Arundel, and clear working plan?
So the officer right there just said, can you update this to an APD? That means an accident with property damage. So no one's hurt, just the vehicles. And then he said, can you clear it with the Morgan plan? And what the Morgan plan is, and I have no idea how it got that name, but I can make up a good story if you want. But the Morgan plan, the drivers, the forms so they can exchange information with each other. And because it's not something that requires a state accident report or a police report, and really it's something that's handled by insurance. So depending on whether or not someone's hurt or there's a extensive damage, this car's kind of in a hurry and changed lanes quickly there without signaling. So we'll see what his or her hurry is here in a second. Pull up. Well, he's nice enough to pull over on a side street, but didn't leave me enough room to get on the side
I
street.
acknowledge the update.
So, but I'm gonna go up there and chat with him. I asked her to pull up a little bit. She doesn't seem too pleased with getting stopped.
Page 96, one in custody.
One in custody, after 243.
Forty-four 71.
4471.
Crooked Pine down in front.
525 Tango.
525 Tango.
Clear GOA, myself, and 522 RELT.
Have a good night. I'm 1545.
.524, you can clear that warrant or that TPV that we were on as a warrant report.
Copy.
Unfortunately, her story makes absolutely no sense for why she's speeding. And the things that she's telling me, none of it adds up. So I'm just going to run her, see what her license status is.
New message. New message.
Well, she's got a valid license, and no warrants that are popping up, so
7694 arrived. Ending mileage is 379.
Copy.
I am going to cut her loose. Well, I sensed that was going to happen, which is she kind of calmed down and was apologetic there at the end, and I told her I'm not going to give her a ticket for something that I wouldn't ticket anybody else for, and I won't tell you what the stories were that she was giving me, but she's got enough drama, it looks like, going on in her life that she doesn't need a ticket, and she'll slow down. So,
1576 or whatever at 1550.
pull over here for a second. Looking to see what all's pending here.
4502. I'll be on PT.
Nothing really other than a warrant that we would respond to, but the warrant looks like there's a specialized unit that's going to go out there and take care of that one. So we will just keep prowling here.
What, 232? 232.
Report was 231, 234. Show me how the service are rolling, please.
Receipt.
There, I tilted the camera down after getting a request for that. It's hard for us sometimes to see for sure how it looks and what view works best for people. So hopefully that's a little better now.
499.
499.
We are still on the east side of St. Paul. We are
Oh, you get a
on
couple
3rd
bucks.
Street.
Help me out here at the lobby, please. I got a cage from mailers. I can figure it out.
Going westbound, right past Harding High School.
277, put me also. Also.
I'm going to stop real quick and check on this squad here that's out on a stop.
272, send
Make
traffic.
sure they're code 4. Code 4?
I am.
Copy.
Good to see you.
How's it going?
Great.
Good, I'm live, just so you know.
All right, very
All
good.
right.
Great to see you.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Be safe.
We'll see ya.
There you put me out the HQ.
That was Commander, it might be Senior Commander now, Salim Omari, who is in charge of the East District here for St. Paul. Looks like he had a young man stopped and was running his license. So Salim has been in charge of special operations, SWAT, a number of other things for the city of St. Paul. And still a pretty young guy, and is probably the future of one of those guys that's going to be the future of leadership in St. Paul Police Department. So
Put me out with 499.
Copy.
of course I warned him that I was live, which I always like to do if I have officers that don't know, just because, to be fair to them, so they watch what they say if they're gonna divulge any national secrets or something. So
260.
260.
I am guilty. Have a good night.
we're northbound now on Johnson Parkway.
Route 1127 McKnight Road for a DK driver. Vehicle's going to be a great accident.
Let's see here. We are at 7th and Johnson Parkway now. Some of you might remember the night we had the guy in the car that was passed out with the gun in his lap there in the parking lot of the Speedway. You may have heard in the background a call for a person in crisis at the downtown St. Paul headquarters, their central district or central team. A person who was having a mental health crisis walked into the station there, and the officer that was working there called for other squads just to come and help and stand by, and eventually probably transport the person to the hospital if they need that kind of care, or address whatever their needs are. Go up here.
234. Case number is going to be 240.
We're still north on Johnson at Phelan Boulevard. I think I'm going to go west on Maryland and back into the Central District, but
1557.
we'll see what happens between now and then. As you can hear, there's not a lot of traffic on the radio, which is good for public safety and can get a little boring for us at times.
5532.
Go ahead.
6 and wall for a property damage accident. 2 vehicles not blocking.
Receive.
499. Checking squad status in the lobby.
239. What code, sir?
Copy code 4. Code 536.
536.
Marked crime damage, reading more like a property damage accident at 11 Kellogg Boulevard east of the Intercontinental. Caller states that the vehicle was damaged by the valet, which the business is declining that they happened. Caller is just requesting to make a report, decline other reporting methods.
Copy.
1559.
So the caller on that call is saying that the valet damaged their car at the hotel. I'll tell you, I always feel uncomfortable handing my keys over to a valet. Just because I worry about what they're going to do with my car or the damage that might occur. So hopefully they can get that cleared up. The Intercontinental is one of it might be the biggest hotel in downtown St. Paul as far as numbers of rooms. I'm not sure, but there are a lot of conventions and meetings that occur there. It's a great venue.
52 is what angle code 1 custody.
Copy.
We are westbound on Maryland. A guy playing chicken with traffic. That's not good, but at least he was a fast chicken. Or Frog, or is that Frogger? That game where they run across traffic.
Copy.
600.
86 on transport.
Go ahead.
Adult female from the call location to the LEC is 30 mileage your way.
15.
Right now, schools are on Christmas break, or I don't know what they call it, but I call it Christmas break. But that winter break over Christmas and New Year's, and then most of the public schools here will reopen next week. But a lot of the colleges and universities have J-term that keeps the kids out for most, if not all, of the month of January. So they get a little break. Some kids go to school during that time to get some extra credits, or they work. And some just enjoy the time off. should be able to see how foggy it is, and it'll get worse as it gets darker out. The visibility gets very poor, and this has been going on for a few nights because of the warmer temperatures and the snow melting and the humidity. I don't know, I'm not a meteorologist, but I'll play one on the live stream. I think I could do it if they told me what to say. So we're going to be coming up on Interstate 35E, and we'll cross over here. When we get over the bridge, we'll be in the Central District.
Air West Florida, I can start first suspicious at 2012 Como Avenue in the lower unit, and on Sergeant nothing. 106, can you 10-9? There's a suspicious color hit.
So now we're back in the Central District.
240.
240.
Start cutting the location. Good to a few more cuts.
Yep.
Five, this is going to be advised, I'll start.
Why my phone keeps doing that, but I'm gonna pull over here, double check.
Only 36, you make me available.
Copy. Where is the comp now? And does she have a contact for the upstairs roommate and or a landlord? Hey, my one.
Four.
234.
Heard your right adult male to the area of Pierce Butler. I'll get you exact location when I'm there.
Copy.
So we're gonna go south on Rice Street from Maryland here, and then I'm gonna pull over and tighten up the clamps here on my camera.
5382, right.
See if we can't get this problem fixed.
Copy.
5, any priors on that address?
I apologize for that, folks.
106, can you have 180 call me?
Alright, now that you're all dizzy and sick, hopefully it's fixed. So we're southbound on Rice. We're at Front Street. We're sitting next to Mama's Pizza. Arguably the best pizza in the state of Minnesota. Depending on what kind of pizza you like. If you just like straight up traditional pizza, that's the place. If you want fancy schmancy pizza, then Pizza Luce is the place for you. So
5382.
5382.
Code 4. And you can also disregard the other 911 calls coming from Target. They're connected to it.
as we go southbound here on Rice Street, we are at Sycamore, and we're gonna go down over by Club Holiday, or the Holiday Station store, as it's more formally known.
2360.
And
2360.
Please call console 11, please.
11, copy.
see how things are down here. There are cars we're looking for, but none right now that I want to put out a description or a plate of, because they're
Actually at the PD, so she found a tracker on her vehicle. Once she reports.
cars that are wanted by specialized units because of shots fired, shootings, narcotics. So I don't want to air those
77.
vehicles out to the public. But
We'll disregard the phone call that's coming into you guys from our front desk. Or person we're all with is calling you.
Received. Thank you.
Home address. There's a couple of different calls related to this address. A couple warrant calls. Check the address for the missing juvenile and a couple welfare checks.
we're going to go westbound here on University from Rice, and
176. Go ahead. I'm going to be logged in a minute, and I'm familiar with the 2012 Como. So you can add me to that. Received.
for those of you familiar with this area in St. Paul, on the middle of the street there, the light rail run from St. Paul downtown Minneapolis, or you could get off and go out to the airport, or get off at Target Field and go north all the way up to St. Cloud on a heavy rail train. And along the way there are platforms where people can wait for the trains, just like in any other city, and pick them up going either direction. It's a handy way to get from one city to the other, or out to the airport or the Mall of America. I think it's the Blue Line that runs from US Bank Stadium down to the airport, the Minneapolis VA, the airport, and the Mall of America out there, and both terminals at the airport. This is the green line that runs east and west from city to city. And there's always talk about expanding new lines out to suburban areas. So westbound on Uni, we're approaching Dale Street. Looks like the Metro Transit officers are up working the platform, or maybe got a call up there. I don't see any calls pending though on the platform, so they're probably just up there checking on things, making sure everybody's safe. And as a lady once told me when I worked in Minneapolis, she said, "Is everybody being haved?" And I thought that was kind of cute. This old lady said, instead of saying behaving, she said being haved. So I use that every once in a while.
Hi, so. Far left, this is 2700 Rice Creek, Unit 105.
Tell you, it seems to be getting foggier and foggier here now. So, just gonna slow down here and take a quick check of the officers and make sure they're okay. Yeah, they're checking fares up there.
Victory.
3177.
Victory, copy. 8620 arrived, heading 20.
Copy.
So we're going to continue westbound here. I want to kind of take a look at the activity around Snelling and University. It seems to be getting a little better over the last couple weeks.
5386 Tango.
With the street level drug dealing and drug use.
5386 Tango.
Issues. I know that Metro Transit and St. Paul PD
covering general fire alarm
have put a lot of work into that. So
5386 Tango, fire can advise.
Seems to be paying off. Can hear the radio's relatively quiet, so we will definitely hear if something's going on, but it has been semi-busy over the weekend, and with
You can tell the TC that's on the phone with their complainer that they can hang up. We're trying to remove the mail. Channel 4.
You probably heard the officer reference at TC. That's a telecommunicator. Those are the men and women that answer the phones when you call 911, and they talk to you and get the info and type it in so that the dispatcher can stay clear and dispatch the call and talk to the officers on the scene. And they have an incident where the person they're trying to deal with there is calling 911, and they asked the telecommunicator to hang up on the person because they're distracted from talking to the officers on the scene. And a lot of times people will not be happy with what the officers are telling them, and then they'll call 911 and try to complain or get someone else to listen to them, and it's very tough for the officers to talk to them and try to de-escalate the situation while that's happening.
The newest update was a female that just called from the block number regarding a mail with a warrant. She hung up prior to obtaining an address. It's the same name as the warrant call on this address for 12-9, and the subject still has an active warrant out of Wisconsin.
So I'm getting a little
Also, the
bit of intel.
Involved is a Corral,
My
white female in
other phone from
234.
Deputy Nicole Sparks.
1701 Pierce Butler.
And she's putting out some information to everyone who's working.
Last call, go again. One product info. Go ahead. I just got off the phone with the river fault PD officer I've been working with on this, and I am about 2 blocks out. Copy the
47. Report before 73.
1621. That can start 2650 of Wire Avenue, Unit 205, very suspicious. Caller received a text from a Tavion Jones stating he was inside her apartment. Per the caller, he is her friend's child's father. We're showing he has a 72-hour pickup and hold for Valley of the rest of the phone.
So we're on Snelling Avenue now. You saw a gentleman dancing on the median, welcoming you to the Midway neighborhood. He looked like he was
He's going to be a black male,
under the influence of something.
Wearing a black puffy jacket and is known to have a knife on him.
But as long as he stays out of traffic and stays safely up on the median,
so we can get access.
he's all
I'm
right.
verifying that with the TC right now. You're welcome, 1623.
Yeah, through disregard. I just saw a light check.
Happy 1623.
As we head north here, we will pass Hamlin University. alma mater of Sheriff Fletcher and a number of our other deputies. It's, I believe, the oldest university in the state of Minnesota. Says it was founded in 1854. Well, they just issued a fog advisory until midnight tonight. Still on Snelling Avenue. We're passing the Hmong College Prep School. It's a private school, and that's on the right, and on the left is the Minnesota State Fairgrounds. And needless to say, there's no fair going on right now, but they always have other events going on there, car shows, jewelry shows, cattle shows and competitions, horse shows, you name it. They always have
1695 Jarvis
events going on, so there's full-time staff working there, and they have their own police department. Chief Ron Nafla runs the police department. We work very closely with them during the fair and on a number of things, helping to make sure it's safe and smooth. Now in the city of Falcon Heights. It's one of the contract cities that we currently patrol, although they will be covered by the St. Anthony Police Department coming up here soon. And they previously contracted with the city of St. Anthony, but that ended after the shooting of Philando Castile, and now they are re-signing that contract, and St. Anthony will be a great department for them to help them achieve some of the goals that they want. So now we are going to be entering into the city of Roseville. Right by the Harmar Mall. Roseville's chief is Erica Scheider. She does a great job. They have a really good department I don't know how many officers they have, but it's a lot. And I'm guessing 100 maybe 80 to 100. And, they have a lot to do here.
Black male, 27 years old, wearing a dark jacket.
Because of the malls, there's a lot of retail. There's Target, Marshalls, and a bunch of Cub Foods and whatever. And then there's Rosedale Mall, which is up here. And we'll drive by. It's on the left-hand side. I don't think you can see it, but it's the largest mall in Ramsey County. And it has everything you need in there. I'm gonna put you on mute for a minute. Sorry about that. I just got a call from one of the sergeants, and he had a question for me. But it turned out it must have been a different deputy that stopped this young man. It wasn't me. So I don't know what happened, because I wasn't working the night that it was. That he said that his son got stopped. So anyway, but it's good that that's one of the things. If people have a concern, that we'll track down who it was that handled that call or that traffic stop or whatever, and try to explain to the person what occurred, so that they understand better. But like I said, this wasn't me this time. So we are at the Rose Oval, which is a huge ice rink outside, where people can ice skate around in a circle. You can't really see it well, probably, but I'll see if I can't get a look inside there. But it's a big community ice skating facility, and people come and play hockey and just skate around in a big circle. And I'm going to see if I can take the phone out of the car for you for a second here. It's risky, but for you, I'll do it. So you can see a young couple skating there, and it's quite a fun place to come and skate or play hockey, pick up hockey. Because it's so warm out, I don't think there aren't too many people there today, but hopefully that gave you a good idea of what the oval looks like.
Split 285.
285.
This is squad to assist on a domestic at 337 7th Street West, unit 219. Language line for Spanish was used. Looks like the couple is in the middle of a separation, and the caller states that the husband was throwing their property out of the apartment.
So hopefully that worked.
Physical violence as well.
And you were able to see the
Hispanic male in his mid-20s.
the rose oval.
285 copy.
There is central car that can assist 285 on the domestic at 337 7th Street West.
262, give me a second, please.
So we're gonna head eastbound on County Road C here. So there's, I can tell you that that oval, that sheet of ice there is one of the first outdoor rinks to open every year, and so a lot of people will flock there and skate outside. Of course, in Minnesota we have a lot of indoor ice rinks, and right next door to that are the two rinks in the Roseville, I forget what it's called, the Roseville Ice Rink. I don't know. It's got a better name than that, but we're the Roseville Raiders high school hockey team. That's their home ice, and they always have good teams. Their girls team is always a contender for state, and the boys are usually fighting to get up there too, so I spent a little bit of time in there. Of course, we do have a lot of lakes and ponds that freeze over, and even a few rivers that people skate
Just a
on.
heads up for cars on the PIC at HQ. He's calling us multiple times now. Looks like he is requesting medics at this time. TC advised that there is someone that's going to be checking on him. Info 1638.
I'm gonna turn around here and swing into the Legion because I had heard that in the Roseville Legion, the Rosetown Legion, that they are big fans of Live on Patrol, and I'm gonna see if any of them are watching and want to come out and say hi to the other backseaters.
Three.
You just hear out the tongue. One of our boys.
Well, there's not very many people here.
285
But,
6892. You're welcome, 1639.
well, we're not getting any takers, so. But shout out to these folks. They do a ton to promote American Legion baseball, including hosting teams and team play and tournaments, and it's always fun watching a game here because you can sit up on the grassy hill up by the Legion, and the adults can have adult beverages while the kids play, which is a little unusual in
15 years old, wearing a pink hoodie, blue
youth
jeans,
baseball.
and black shoes. Our colors waiting in a red Toyota Sienna.
You said try me to life.
Copy.
Here's someone you can let's go. Gonna do a knock and talk at 1337 Pacific Street.
Copy, 1641.
Just advising, Arthur's now requesting medics for a heart problem. So notice that he has transferred up over there yet, but he's where the inmates are released according to him.
277 copy. We'll walk over there.
Thank you, at 1622.
All of these vehicles out of the way.
Copy. I'm supposed to get him up there.
License plate, Oklahoma, Papa Mike, Kilo, Quebec, 086 to the call.
Damage crash.
So we are eastbound on County Road C, and we are headed towards Rice Street, coming up here.
We're going to be attempting contact in the house with the health clinic here. Don't need to hurt this time.
272.
272.
Roseville. But as we turn and we're on the other side of the street, we will be in Little Canada, another one of our contract cities. And a busy city. They also have a lot of retail businesses and schools and industrial garages and warehouses.
Towards a Hallmark domestic, reading more like a disorderly at Livingston and Fillmore. Verbal domestic occurring on the corner where a female flagged down the com. They said the female lives in the apartment building and is calling on her behalf. Name of Dana. She's a 40-year-old Indian female, about 5'8", heavy build, wearing a sweatshirt. Regarding 1644. Close for 1700 EOT 230.
230.
231. 234.
234.
238.
238.
239. 240. 249.
240.
Any additional cars for 1700 EOT?
So there, she's checking on the cars that are working the street in St. Paul that are scheduled to be off now. So she's checking to see if they are EOT or end of tour, or if they're tied up on another call. So she'll take them off of the board so they're not available.
435 University. Staff there is reporting a male that has a history of violence that is on their property. His name is Ramsey Williams. Black male, 5'8", and bills, no full description given.
So they'll just make sure they don't have people,
1646.
squads that look like they're working that aren't available. And then the new cars will sign on when they come on.
Created by the university for an alarm that covers the back glass break.
So St. Paul, that's a tradition on their shifts that they go through and air that, I think, mainly so other people will know who's still there and who's not, and so the supervisors will know. We generally, at the sheriff's office, we sign out generally on our computers
271.
so that, we're not tying up airtime, and they can see that we're gone for the day.
Yep.
We are now up, approaching the junction here with 694, I-694, which is a bypass around the north end and the east end of the Twin Cities. And we are crossing over it, and we'll be in the city of Shoreview. And we got to go through a series of roundabouts.
21.
1220 Sherburne Avenue, unit number 6 for loud music.
Copy.
1648.
Suspect vehicle driveway at 1885 Myron Street. Occupied time about 80 seconds. Our squad start this way.
So we are north on Rice Street here in the city of Shoreview. You can't see it, I'm sure, but on the right there is Vadnais Lake. And
please add November with you on the
so all these houses on the right are overlooking the lake.
We're code 4 for medics out front in the parking lot.
So I'm wondering if anybody's going to be in New York City for the ball drop tomorrow night. Anybody who's watching. I've heard it's a super crazy event. My wife Ann and I did go there last year for the Christmas tree lighting at Rockefeller, and we had a blast. It was our anniversary as well, and but it sounds like the ball drop's even crazier. So here's where Rice Street splits into two, and we are going to go up Hodgson. Yeah, I know it was fun to go there and experience Christmas in New York City and go to Macy's and all the attractions, which we did, and see the tree lighting, and it was a fun time to be there, but I would never want to live right down there. It's so busy. So busy, so much traffic. I guess if you had a ton of money and you could, live in a nice place and, get Ubers everywhere, take taxis, it wouldn't be too bad, but it was fun. It was fun to be there. Somebody posted that the Midway Saloon has bobber drop tomorrow night, which is definitely more appropriate for Minnesota.
386 Tango, code 1 traffic.
Make sure I read that right. The Midway Saloon is having a big bobber drop tomorrow, so be there or be square.
240418. Everything.
So now we're at Highway 96. We're up in, still in the city of Shoreview. Great place to live and work up here. I'll tell you, one of the biggest deterrents from going to Times Square for New Year's Eve is I heard you gotta hold yourself that there's no porta potties and that it's so. I would think, especially when people are drinking, that would be hard. And
You update my location at Garden Avenue in Maple Knoll Drive.
But I'm sure it's fun to do. I do like watching like the New Year's across the world as obviously it becomes midnight at different locations, different time zones. It's fun to watch. And, I do like to do that and find that interesting, but
PD, super route 4.
we're up
All right.
in Shoreview here. I'm gonna swing through one of my favorite places up here, which is Shore 96 bar and restaurant at Lexington and Highway 96, and
Can I get a case number?
see if any of
240-418.
backseaters are in there watching us.
Copy, thank you.
Of course, I struck out at the Rosetown Legion, so
6-1, yeah.
It says fire 4821 Golden on 21st.
6-1, copy.
they just got pizza.
When you were
Started
doing a walkthrough.
baking pizzas here, so that's good.
Happy with us, present back. 2150 Wilson Avenue for a DOC.
So we're out
Further
here
background that
outside,
follows
but
the caller and his wife, they're currently in the back of the building. Suspects of being a white Voyager. For the caller, the male got offended.
Not
because
seeing
on the caller's
anyone
concealed gun.
coming out to greet us, so
And that was 381 backing.
Rebel 176.
Oh, something.
so I
Do you have any parking enforcement officers working in East today?
so Brian
Two.
asked me if I was kin to any Martins in Oklahoma. Actually, I
Be 952
am not, but I did.
73
My grandpa and grandma lived in Marlow, Oklahoma, and they both passed away over the last year. He was 101 and she was 99, I believe, and so I was down there I've spent a little bit of time down there, and I was down there for the funerals. But in Marlow and Duncan, but they lived outside of Marlow. And but other than that, I'm not. Most of my Martin relatives are either here in Minnesota or in Kansas, or I have a brother in Huntington Beach, California. And a lot of Martins in Kansas, around Wichita and Colwich. We're westbound on Highway 96, just passing our patrol station. We're in Arden Hills now. Our patrol station up here is where our patrol deputies work out of. Undersheriff Jeff Ramaker is the big boss, and Commanders Mike Hankey and Jeremy Bolin are his commanders out here. And the county garage is there where they outfit our vehicles and work on them and take care of us, as well as other vehicles from the county. As we go westbound here, we are going to end up, once we cross over Interstate 35W, we will be in the city of New Brighton.
Right.
Just passing by my favorite hardware store, By Swingers.
For each trash can that was just left behind.
They have everything you need. If they don't have it, you don't need it. And the staff there are super friendly. They always have a display every year at the state fair as well, where they have sales on everything from snow blowers to lawn mowers, a lot of power equipment, and just really great people.
Hope you have a good day.
So we're gonna go south on Old Highway 8 here. We're right by Long Lake Park. Ironically, Long Lake is a long lake, and it runs basically from I-694 all the way up to County Road H in the city of Mounds View, and it's a great place for people to live, and there's a lot of fishing and ice fishing that goes on there.
And 369 going to the correct address is going to be 1379 Round.
We'll drive down and see if people are ice fishing on the lake, but it might be hard to see them with the fog tonight if they are. It's been a little warmer than normal, so it could be a little sloppy out on the ice. You get the water sitting on top, but definitely the ice is thick enough to walk on, or probably for an ATV or snowmobile, but not to drive a car on. I wouldn't trust that right now because it's been a little warm. It could be okay, but I don't want to be that guy that finds out. One of these days, if it's been cold long enough and we find a lake, we'll drive out on the frozen lake so you can see what it's like. Just don't tell the county liability people, what do they call them? That try to reduce your liability.
176 was kind enough to take primary, so I will get your name.
Cross over 694 here. We're going around, and then we'll come up on the bottom of the lake over here. We're now on Long Lake Road, which curves turns into Long Lake Road right here. Starting to mist a little bit. So we're taking a right on Beach Street.
Right.
Again, ironically named Beach Street, because if you come
Eastbound
down here,
36 and Hamlin.
you run into the
Golf, Mary Golf, 560.
Long Lake boat ramp, and then if you keep going on the trail, you get to the beach. There is someone out there ice fishing. I can see a light out there right now, so we'll see if we can get a decent view. We might not be able to, but there's probably,
The grandmother says that
I'm gonna
son's at the
guess
door banging,
about
she doesn't want to let him in.
8 inches of
For the caller.
ice out there right now, which is enough to support a person and or a snowmobile. Looks like this person's dragging their ice house. Most of the ice houses nowadays are pop-ups, like a pop-up tent. Well, they're not. No, it's just two people out there. Looks like they're walking. They're fishing out there without a house. And then over to the right, a little bit closer into shore, there's a house out there, but I don't think you could see probably very well. But they're fishing outside as well, because why not when the temperature's a balmy 32 degrees. So we'll have to come back sometime during when it's light out.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. As I
So you
warned
can
you,
get a better
2024
view.
is here. The IRS is unleashed with unprecedented power. Now, if you got an IRS letter or if you sense trouble brewing, well, act now. The IRS means business, and that means bank accounts, rated paychecks, garnished passports, you are crushed, you can't defend an interest. Maybe you're this owner, bring you behind a payroll tax. Just now they can map you for playing a game, cut you down. After years, 30.
So we, this is a county park, and we do patrol the lakes, all the waterways in Minnesota are patrolled by the county sheriffs. So our water patrol does. But the city of New Brighton also does a lot of work out here in the summer when it gets busy. They keep their own boat here to respond to emergencies. So, all right, well, it's that time when it's time to call it quits. I want to thank everyone for sticking with me today. Not a lot going on, but hopefully you got to see a lot and maybe learn a few things, and I really appreciate it. And I'm guessing it's possible that the crew might be out on Wednesday during the day, but for sure I'm guessing we will be back on Friday. So thanks again, and everybody have an awesome new year. And hopefully you get to spend it with friends and or loved ones and have a great time. So Thank you.